and mine. Jealousy, it must be left behind. Spreading some joy at this Christmas time. Must have a place in your heart and mind. When everything is said and done, who'll be the one to pay the consequence for all the wrongs that we have done, the things that never really made no sense. They never made no sense. Oh, but maybe this Christmas we'll do better than that. And in the spirit of Christmas, the best time to make a start. Break the song and let your voices be heard. Shout it out, shout it out. Each and every word, let out your heart. Sing bravely to the Lord and make this Christmas a special time for love. Raise up the song, yeah. Oh, let your voice be heard. Shout it out, shout it out. Each and every word. Come on and sing the praise to the King of Kings. Special, make a special time and make this Christmas a special time. Make this Christmas a special time for love. Time for love. Time for love. Well, hello. This is my 12 days of New York Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet a truck bus every morning. On the second day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet two golden crowns and a truck bus every morning. On the third day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet three apple chocolates, two golden crowns and a truck bus every morning. On the fourth day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet four instruments, three apple chocolate, two golden crowns, and a truck bus every morning. On the fifth day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet five explanations, four instruments, three apple chocolate, two golden crowns, and a truck bus every morning. On the sixth day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet big broken rhythm, five explanations, four instruments, three apple chocolate, two golden crowns, and a truck bus every morning. On the seventh day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet seven up tempo, big broken rhythm, and five explanations, four instruments, three apple chocolate, two golden crowns, and a truck bus every morning. On the eighth day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet eight songs of flowing, seven up tempo, big broken rhythm, and five explanations, four instruments, three apple chocolate, two golden crowns, and a truck bus every morning. On the ninth day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet nine bacana women, eight cups of flowing, seven up tempo, big broken rhythms, and five expeditions, four instruments, three apple chocolate, two golden crowns, and a truck bus every morning. On the 10th day of Christmas, people, you'll get to meet 10 12 hobbits, nine bacana women, Comes the flowing, seven hearts and things will be written and five expeditions. Four instruments, three double shower, snow, golden drum, and a drum bars will be morning. On the 11th day of Christmas, before you get to me, 11 days for betting, but for shopping, and a lot of women, comes a flowing, seven hearts and four, things will be written and five expeditions. Four instruments, three double shower, snow, golden drum, and a drum bars will be morning. On the 12th day of Christmas, before you get to me, 12 months for soaring, 11 days for sweating, 10 months for hopping, the kind of women, comes and flowing, 7 hearts and 4, 6 trophy ribbons and 5 expeditions, go! 4 instruments, 3 double showers, 2 golden drum, and a start to be morning. But the night went to the little land. Do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little land. Do you see what I see? A star of stars dancing in the night with a tail as big as a sky. With a tail as big as a sky. Get the little lamb to the shepherd boy. Do you hear what I hear? Ringing through the sky, shepherd boy. Do you hear what I hear? A song, high above the trees with a voice as big as the sea. With a voice as big as the sea. A child, shivers in the cold, let it bring him silver and gold. Let it bring him silver and gold. Yeah, yeah. Silent night, holy night. Oh, let's come. Oh, let's ride round the unburdened mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. How they told me a newborn king to see. Our finest gift we bring to lay before the king.
Q95, 95, 95, 95, 95. Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
All right, Dominica, it's 14 after the hour of 8. You know, once there's a cruise ship in port, it slows down everything. So I do apologize. Hey, good morning to you in Dominica, the rest of the region, and the world by extension. Let's start off the greetings line this morning. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary. And if there's death in the family, our deepest sympathies.
Now, doesn't make what this. There ought to be love again. Anyone who takes offense.
Good morning, very early this morning. Good morning. We're going to make the greetings line short this morning. Hello, talk to me. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Matt. How are you doing? You late said Kate.
Yeah, I know.
Matt, on behalf of the Rosa Central Group, Matt, Mr. Prevo and Glenroy Soso and the company would like to offer our condolences to the family of Miss Catherine Rivera, who passed away yesterday on her birthday, Matt. Oh boy, I will miss her every time I pass a virgin list for me to shout her out, and when she hear my voice, she will call me. Catherine, may you rest in peace, your family, your daughter especially, courage and strength to you, my darling. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day, Blue.
It's never understood how men who died for good could not have a day that would.
On the telephone, good morning to you, yes?
Blessed day to you, Mr. Feldy. What's up?
Blessed day to you, too.
I give thanks. Now, my Ramper, I'm calling your phone. I can't get you. I don't know what's up with you. Maybe Charles, Hazel and Anthony, blessings to you, Auntie Ruby. Nikita, Kimberly Benjamin, blessings to you and your family. Give your mom my love and regards. And DJ Richie Farrell and what's his name again? DJ Sean. Sheridan Gregwell, Matt Felte. I greeted you, know, Matt Felte. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. Thank you. On the telephone, good morning to you, yes? Morning to you, yes.
Okay, I'd like to say good morning and welcome to Jocelyn Roy Cardinal, who is around to check on her dad. Wishing him, Mr. Roy, a speedy recovery. God bless. Take care.
God bless. Mr. Roy, get well soon.
Who know the way through? It's love and unity to all of God's children. To be afraid of it. And the whole thing should be spent. And for remembrance of those who lived and died for the oneness of our people. So let us all begin. We know that nothing win. But I shall hold it in. Say it loud again. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Good morning to you, Titus Caesar. If you get the time, I'll play you that number, okay? Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Good morning.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
We're going to come back right after this.
We are in the Atlantic hurricane season. Stay tuned to radio and television stations for regular bulletins. Rely only on official bulletins. Do not check these over the telephone. A message from Q95 FM Radio.
Bloombox brings you our new branch right in the heart of Roseau to make things even easier for you to get all the best products we have in stock. Bloombox Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, next to Richard Wholesale, the same block as Western Union. Bloombox Roseau, a farmer's favorite place. New location, same great products for all your planting needs. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call us at 235-3483. Bloombox, your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline Lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
Want to stay ahead in the world of electronic communications? Then you've got to check out Ectel Bytes, a production of the Eastern Caribbean Telecommunications Authority. We dive into the hottest topics affecting the telecom sector, from the latest innovations to the policies shaping your digital future. Tune in to Ectel Bytes on the last 3 Thursdays of this month, November 14th, 21st, and 28th. In the digital world, knowledge is your greatest asset.
Honey, did you get the glow spread and mellow cream?
A little help with the bags would be nice.
Shortly, but I need the glow spread to finish the icing for Christine's birthday cake and mellow cream to add to the soup and gravy.
No.
No?
No, I didn't get just one. I got 2 of each.
Oh, honey, that's just why I married you.
Spread the love with Mellow Cream and Glow Spread. They're vegan-friendly, lactose, and gluten-free. Found in all leading supermarkets nationwide.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods, Inc.
Super 6 keeps rising and rising and has now risen to an astronomical $454,000. Take a chance. Rise to the occasion and grab the Super 6 jackpot of $454,000.
It's that time again when Akel Ruffle Mattress and Fabric Store is giving up to 40% on selected sheet sets, mattresses from 20 to 30%, fabric 30%, leopard 15%, and special prices on pillows. Visit Akel Ruffle Mattress and Fabric Store on King George V Street, across from the Jolly's Wholesale on the Point Michelle bus stop. Call 440-2424 for more information.
This is Esther Banton. You drop it on water.
Remember when we held on in the rain?
Good morning to you, Olive. Is that the song you wanted to hear this morning for some reason?
Once again,
Dedicated to the sharpshooter.
we can take the night to tomorrow. Live it up deeply.
Whitney.
touching you, I feel it all again. Oh, the right with you was worth all my breath living.
Good morning to you, Arlene. All those of you celebrating birthdays today.
The way you used to touch me felt so fine, kept our hearts together. Down the line, a moment in the soul, and keep us. Help me bring the feeling back again. Almost have it all. When love was all we had worth giving, the ride with you was worth the fall. You makes my life worth living. But you know,
Then we almost have it all. Good morning to you, Hazeland. Hope you have a great day today and productive as well. Alex in Switzerland, good morning to you. Hope you have a wonderful day in this trying time.
have it all.
Q95, 95, 95, 95, 95. Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Kendall Morgan.
And I'm Ben
Abroad with the latest from across the Caribbean.
The United Nations was yesterday evacuating staff from Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, as armed gangs continued to expand the control of large parts of the city and to increase the clashes with the police. UN reports say one of its helicopters was taking small groups from the capital to northern Haiti, and some people were leaving the country. A U.S. Air Force aircraft was also reported to be in Haiti to remove some American diplomats. Other embassies and some international aid organizations were also said to be scaling back operations on the Haitian capital, where the airport remains closed to commercial flights after 2 aircraft were hit by gunfire earlier this month.
Every Surinamese will receive a share in royalties of $750 with an interest of 7% per year. This announcement was made yesterday by President Chandrika Prasad Santokhi at the reception. He said that there has been an enormous positive impact of the $10 billion final investment decision by Total Energies. The Surinamese leader said that the financial instrument will offer Surinamese a share in future oil royalties and make them de facto owners of Suriname's natural assets. Mr. Santokhi said Suriname must now translate that positive impact into opportunities for the people of that country, especially in the area of education and business.
Citing concerns about increasing non-attendance and non-registration of students in schools, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says some of the country's education officers will double as truancy officers to arrest the problem.
I have asked the Minister of Education to establish specific truancy officers in all regions. They must go out after examining their register and see who is not attending, knock on those doors, find those students who are not attending school, and bring them back to school. The government stands ready to provide the support for those students. We cannot allow students to be out of school.
Jamaica's central bank is keeping an eye on planned immigration and trade policies by the United States incoming Donald Trump administration. The Trump election campaign promises had included tariffs on Chinese and other goods, a cut in taxes, mass deportation of illegal foreigners, and an increase in U.S. oil supplies. The Bank of Jamaica's Deputy Governor Robert Stennett says preliminary modeling has begun, though the central bank will have to wait greater clarity on what the U.S. will consider more feasible to do.
We're aware that GDP estimates, the impact on GDP estimates range anywhere between 1% to 2% on the U.S. economy. When we take those into consideration, we also consider that inflation in the U.S. could rise, and where prices coming out of the U.S. are higher, then those will affect us here in Jamaica. Broadly speaking, these policies are likely to affect expectations, but to the extent that Jamaican nationals are involved, the diaspora are affected. To the extent that these things happen, then remittance flows could be affected, and maybe other potential foreign exchange flows could be affected.
Guyana yesterday passed open data legislation, but prohibits the disclosure of certain types of information. Government says the open data law will empower citizens and institutions to use data as a tool for innovation, economic growth, and more efficient governance. Prime Minister Mark Phillips says the aim is to ensure data is used safely and responsibly.
Mr. Speaker, naturally, we expect concerns to be raised about the risks associated with making public data more accessible. These concerns, while valid, are adequately addressed in the safeguards embedded in the bill. Clauses 11 and 15 of the bill strictly prohibit the disclosure of non-public data assets and impose severe penalties for breaches of confidentiality. This ensures that private, sensitive, and classified information remains secure.
Opposition, a Partnership for National Unity and Alliance for Change parliamentarian Annette Ferguson told the House that the Commissioner of Information, Charles Ramson, is not performing his duties.
My contention here, Mr. Speaker, you're giving the Commissioner of Information extra duties. When you know for a fact that this gentleman is not doing anything.
That's your view. So that's what I'm saying. Keep the personal view. When he's here to defend himself, we could go down that road.
This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at plus 592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
Support the Dominican Infirmary Residents Week of Activities, December 8th to 13th, 2024. Honoring our elders, celebrating lives, sharing stories. Sunday, December 8th, church service from 3 p.m. at the infirmary, together with the Music Lovers Band. Monday, December 9th, official opening ceremony from 11 a.m. under the distinguished presence of the President of Dominica, Her Excellency Sylvania Britton and her husband. Tuesday, December 10th, for Volunteers Day, an opportunity to give back and support residents. Also, Wellness Day. Wednesday, December 11th, for Family Day, as we invite families to be part of activities and share time with their loved ones. Special performance by Pearl Christian Recorded Group of Students and more. Thursday, December 12th, an exciting outing for residents to the Freshwater Lake. Friday, December 13th, Donation Day, a chance to contribute to the infirmary's mission. Cash, groceries, clothes, and provisions will be accepted. Donate and receive a blessing. We invite the entire Nature Wild to join us in celebrating our residents and making this week a memorable one. Be part of the Dominica Infirmary Residents Awareness Week, December 8th to December 13th, 2024, as we come together in support and appreciation. To God be the glory, great things He has done. May God richly bless you.
Oh, I'm gonna sing perfect goodness. I'm gonna sing.
Indulge your senses in the exotic fragrances inspired by nature, luscious fruits, tropical flowers, and mesmerizing beaches with Beef Air Freshener. Flowers of paradise, mango papaya, pina colada, pink lemonade zing, radiant sunshine, and white sand beaches make up the Beef Exotic Blends collection, perfectly blending vibrant tropical aromas with the inspiration drawn from around the Caribbean. Beef, for a happy, healthy home.
Make this brand love happen for everyone this year. With First Public Bank, the finest loans we have to spread the Christmas cheer. With First Public Bank, we can make your dreams come true. Like magic shit will appear. With First Public Bank, make this Christmas happen. With First Public Bank this year. Christmas in this year. Can I have this?
We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you want.
Mortgage with Flow. With Christmas in, when weekly prices up to 10,000. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a private. We Christmas in with free groceries from Flow. Plus, a chance to win weekly prizes and up to $10,000 cash. Head over to your nearest Flow store or visit discoverflow.co. Flow, we Christmas in. Mortgage with Flow.
Bloombox brings you our new branch right in the heart of Rosal to make things even easier for you to get all the best products we have in stock. Bloombox Rosal on the corner of Hanover Street and Dewey Lane, next to Richard Wholesale, the same block as Western Union. Bloombox Rosal, a farmer's favorite place. New location, same great products for all your planting needs. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call us at 235-3483. Bloombox, your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
All right, this week, second day, proven to be hot on the hot set. And of course, stay tuned for a repeat of yesterday's Talk on the Block everybody's been asking for with Mr. Simeon Joseph. But tonight, more issues, more current affairs issues on the Global View on Q. Host Sheridan Gregoire. And his usual suspects tonight, exploring the issues of the day, locally, regionally, and internationally. Mr. G, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday to you, sir. Good morning.
Morning, Matt. Great Tuesday to you as well. How are you doing?
Trying one day at a time.
Great. So tonight, Matt, it is our 37th Global Beyond Q show for 2024. And as you know, we continue to engage with our cherished local, regional, and global Q family listeners and friends of Dominica everywhere. Our distinguished guest tonight, Justice Dr. Irving Andre, businessman and pharmacist Andy Jolly, engineer, Senator Delbert Paris, and social scientist Simeon Joseph. Tonight, our conversation will continue to focus on securing good government, making a major new paradigm shift, the best way to achieve a real independence, proper elections, dynamic socio-economic autonomy and growth, or progress, as you want to call it, some 46 years post-independence. But we'll first explore how to bring an end to this era of total power in the hands of just one man who says, I run things. No law or constitution will prevent me from doing what I want. But the constitution allowed him to do just that with impunity for 20 years. That era needs to end. That's what we're saying. The framers of the Constitution have not anticipated that anyone would want to wield such absolute corrupting power for himself at the expense of the people whom he's supposed to serve. Now that we know what we know and what we have witnessed over the past 20 years or so, the question is, do we need to amend our Constitution to prevent future leaders from just doing the very same thing? So going forward, should we be encouraging political parties to ensure that their campaign platforms reflect principles that return the power into the hands of the people and keeping it there permanently? I think Dominicans at home and abroad would like to see an end to this era of total power in the hands of one man for the peace of mind of future generations. But right now, the power appears to be only, the people appear to be only able to exercise their power once every 5 years on election day. And that's it. Dominica and Dominicans are paying a very heavy price for that every day. But this incumbent regime will not fix this because they love it exactly the way it is now. It works for them. The opposition forces therefore need to win at least 15 seats in the next general election in order to be able to amend their constitution, and that is my suggestion, to ensure that the power of the people is seen and felt and is de facto greater than that of the people in power, to provide that. Here are my suggestions to make everyone answerable to the people. I think the president, a parliamentary commissioner or ombudsman, as we call it, the prime minister, the attorney general, the financial secretary, the chief elections officer, the director of public prosecution, the commissioner of police, the speaker of the house. All of these people should be elected by all of the people. None of them should be there working at the whims and fancies of a prime minister because he appoints them. They should not be answerable to one person. They should be answerable to the people. And I believe there should be a fixed date for general election. I'm saying all of this to say that incoming politicians who want to take a hold of the government should take that into account. So there should be a fixed date for the elections. The prime minister, all these people should be there for no more than 2 consecutive terms, right? Fixed date for election and no more than 2 consecutive terms. And the number of cabinet ministers should not exceed 7. In a little country, 70,000 people, you don't have 21 people and charging the people so much money just to run a cabinet. That's too many. A maximum of 7, could be less. Ministers should be selected by the, in other words, the way the US system and the Canadian system work right now. You come in there, you win as prime minister, you select your cabinet, And if 7 people you have, it's 7 people you have, and then when you get out of there, you take them and go with you. What they have in this country is they have a Senate. Well, we have senators, but we don't have a Senate. And so that is why I think the people's power has to come in a Senate. Because, for example, you have 21 constituencies in Dominica now. You have sort of 7 regions. We can call them, if we want to call them provinces, call them provinces. This thing about local government, we have to take that seriously. And those provinces, if you have, each of them has 3 constituencies, right? So you can say, oh, let's elect 2 from each constituency to become senators. And let's provide criteria for the people who can become senators, so they can really do work for the people at the highest level. And if you say you have 7 regions and you have 6 senators in each of those regions or provinces, they would form the Senate. That's 42. Let them form the Senate, which would then become the legislative branch of the country. So the cabinet members would not be in that legislative branch. They would have nothing to do. They can propose stuff, but they should not be the ones to approve and confirm and so on. I think the Senate is where the people have to have the power, and that is where people have to put their representatives to ensure they can protect themselves against politicians who want to do things just for themselves. I mean, you have to have qualifying criteria for all of that. I mean, you can't just take a broomstick and put somebody and say, oh, that person is going to be finance minister. Take a medical doctor and put them in communications and work, whoever it is. We should no longer be able to do that. There should be criteria. All right? So I'm saying that this Senate, which is going to be the legislative branch, totally separate from the executive branch. It would have as much power, so you have 3 equal branches now. I would think that it would be the Senate that should be approving the national budget. For example, when, let us say you have a province, let us say Granby, and you have 3 constituencies, or Roseau, and you have 3 constituencies there. These people representing the local community should put their budget together and say, we want in that community, we have these resources that we have. We want to create jobs in manufacturing, in this product and that. We put a budget, and if your total allocation is, let us say, 100 million or whatever it is, then you put that every one of those provinces do that, and then the total Senate would go through and have expertise, would help them to shape this budget and approve that. No longer would any prime minister have to go to a village council and say, hey, what I can give you tomorrow. No, that should be gone. I mean, we need to formalize those things and make it work for the people. So put the power back in the hands of the people. So you see where I'm coming from, Matt. I'm saying let's make a radical change and put the power permanently back into the hands of the people. Then, of course, the Senate, after the budget's approved, you don't have to, no DPP would have to be answerable to the Prime Minister, and the President would not answerable to the Prime Minister. You answer to the people. So when it comes to appointing judges and paying magistrates, this has nothing to do with the Prime Minister or the Cabinet. It should have to do with the thing is budgeted. The Senate, you may have standing committees or whatever you want to have there to supervise those things, and these allocations are made. So this business of justice, served in a certain way for some. These people would be independent, and the judicial branch is supposed to, in fact, be independent. These people should not have to worry about whether or not they're going to appoint them tomorrow, and the DPP is concerned, if I go to null across this case, I will not be appointed. That nonsense would really stop. So I'm saying we need to start thinking outside of the box now and ensure that we put new things in place. And this business of PSC, no, PSC should not be answerable to no minister. The PSC is supposed to be the CEOs of the ministries, and they should be answerable to some standing committee, just like you have in Parliament now, the Public Accounts Committee. So you have these standing committees, and when for example, the opposition or whoever is in the committee asks for information from a financial secretary, they should get it, because no minister should be able to not to give it to them. That should not be. In fact, they're not answerable to them. These are the kind of things that I'm talking about, Matt. And so I'm going to be putting those things out. I don't know whether my panelists agree with me. I don't know whether the country will agree with me. But I'm suggesting we do things differently going forward. That any political party now, if the opposition forces want to organize themselves, to be able to come and put a platform together for the people, they have to give the people assurance that they're going to allow the power to remain in the hands of the people, not as it is now in the hands of one man. Are you with me now?
I'm here, and it appears that you have some hot subjects tonight on the Global View.
Well, yes, it's going to be hard, but of course we'll talk about the way forward and things we need to do to ensure that the people benefit from what I'm talking about in terms of power back in their hands. So that it's not just a few people being able to buy $180,000 for the children. It has to be, you have to be looking after the carpenters and the masons and the plumbers and the electricians and the farmers and everybody else and the contractors and truck drivers, bus drivers. You have to be able to look after those people. It's impossible. I mean, what kind of thing we're doing in Normal, where everybody's struggling, a prime minister cutting style as to whether public servant should get a 0 or 2%. That should no longer be in the jurisdiction at all. Let the Senate handle that. Special standing committee to handle public service things. You know, so public servants shouldn't be afraid, or I cannot do this because the minister or whatever it is. So I'm saying, and we'll discuss those things, but let people respond to that and tell us what they think about it. I think we need a whole new paradigm shift to be able to move this country forward. This nonsense has to stop.
All right, sir. 8 o'clock tonight, right here on Q, the Global View. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, take care now. Dominica, stay tuned. 8:50, you have the Muslim store coming in, but we have some breaking news.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
Dominica, information just coming to me indicate that the judge in the double murder trial involving Jonathan Larier and his co-accused in the alleged murder of in the Soufrière area sometime. He'll be making his decision there at about 10 o'clock this morning. We'll bring you more details once it becomes available. So that decision on bail will be handed down about 10 o'clock this morning. That's what a big source there, close to the court, just informed me. So stay tuned for that, okay? This morning you'll hear whether they give bail or they refuse bail. And in the meantime, let's take on our friends here from the Muslim store. Stick around. Black Friday's around the corner. Stick around.
Where am I going to find a necklace to match that dress? What do you mean where? Girl, Muslim store. Where? You think I have $1 million to spend, man, my girl? No, girl, the Muslim store have a wide variety of beautiful, luxurious, and affordable jewelry. Necklaces, rings, watches, earrings in gold, silver, and even gold filled. Plus, there's a 35% discount on all jewelry. All that then. Girl, hurry up, they're closing for 30. Visit us today on 18 Old Street, Roseau. Muslim store, locally born, locally grown.
All right, let's say good morning to our friend there from the Muslim store. What's happening? They said just about 24 hours away.
Oh, yes. Pleasant morning to you, madam. Pleasant morning to everybody that's listening on the line this morning. Hope you guys are having a good and happy morning, because I know I am. And it's coming very closer to that Black Friday, and I'm very, very excited for that. And here this morning, I'm here to give you guys a little more updates on the deals that we're going to be having for Black Friday at the Homes Department, Engineering Department, and the Appliance Department as well. I just want to remind you guys that our Black Friday always on Friday is going to be from 6 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. So yes, so you guys will have a lot of time to come on down and shop till you drop on Friday. And for the first thing I just want to touch on, at the Appliance Department, we'll be having 30% discount on all of our perfumes. So if you're looking to buy a nice a perfume set for a friend, probably a spouse, or just want to give somebody a nice little gift for probably being kind, we have 30% happening right now at for on all of our perfumes for Black Friday, and we have perfumes like White Diamond, Millionaire, Hugo Boss, Invictus, Mercedes Benz, and a lot more perfumes. We have a section for the men if you want to look, you're looking to buy a men perfume, and we have a women's section where you can buy and you can find a lot of different types of perfumes for lady. And whilst I'm at the appliance department, I just want to remind all the customers of all the deals that's already ongoing at the appliance department, where you can get 30% off on all our cell phones and also 30% on all of our tablets as well. So if you're looking for trying to get a brand new cell phone, you can get 30% off that brand new cell phone today, which is gonna leads up until Black Friday. And if you're looking for a tablet as well, we have iPads, we have Samsung tablets, we also have Android tablets as well, like the Amazon Fire 7. Right now, you get it for 30% off. You get, as I said, we try to do it big for Black Friday at the Muslim store. Also, we have great deals on our televisions as well. If you're looking to get a 75-inch, we have 65-inch. We have a lot of deals going on right now for those sizes of televisions. And if you probably check our Facebook page and also come into the store, you will see those signs up showing that we have sale on those items. As I said, we have a lot more going on, so we'll be here back here tomorrow and Thursday as well, and also Friday, to give you guys a lot more updates on our Black Friday. And if you have any questions that you will probably want to ask for the appliance department, you can call at 448-5100. That's 448-5100. Also, if you want to WhatsApp us as well, you can WhatsApp us at 275-2135. That's 275-2135. Also, just want to take some time to go to the homes department as well, where we'll be having 40% on our ladies bags. So if you're looking for a side bag for ladies, no matter if you're looking to buy somebody a nice gift, a bag to probably just go to town, probably want to go to the beach, bring them a nice good date, you will have right now 40% on all of our women's bags at the homes department. Also, just want to remind all customers of all the other deals that's happening at the homes department as well. You can get 40% off all of our furniture and all of our 40% on all of our beds as well. We also have $25 right now for if you're looking for a foam pillow, you can get a foam pillow for $25. We also have sale on our mattresses as well. If you're looking for a foam mattress or a quilted mattress, and there are a lot of different sizes, you can get 30% off right now for a foam and a quilted mattress. And we have the spring mattress as well, where you can get 35% off on your spring mattress. As I said, we try to do it big for Black Friday at the Muslim store. And if you have any questions that you probably want to ask for the homes department, you can call at 448-5102. That's 448-5102. And also, if you want to WhatsApp us as well, you can WhatsApp us at 275-2811. That's 275-2811. All right, so and whilst I'm wrapping up our program, I just want to set a quick highlight to the engineering department as well, where we have a lot of sale going on there as well. We can get $100 off on a 12K AC unit. You can get $200 off on an 18K AC unit, and $300 off on a 24K AC unit. Also, if you're looking to change your rims on your vehicle, right now is the best time where you get 30% discount on all of our rims at the engineering department. We also have lubricants for your vehicle as well. So if you're looking for engine oil, you're looking for brake fluids and all this stuff like that, you can get them right now for only $17.50 at the engineering department. Also, we have transmission fluids that all our transmission fluids you can get for only $25. Also, I know we have the 20-liter lubricants. If you're looking for lubricants for your bigger vehicles, like them tractors and stuff like that, we have the 20-liter lubricants for only $175. And with that, we want to add today at the engineering department, if you're looking for tires for your vehicle, we have them in a lot of different sizes. If you're looking tires for your car, for your bus, for your van, for your, you name it, we have tires in all different sizes at the engineering department. And today we give you guys 30% discount on all of our tires at the engineering department. And if you have probably any questions that you probably want to ask or just probably follow up on at the engineering department, you can call us at 448-5101. That's 448-5101. Also, you can WhatsApp us as well. If you're looking for us to send you a picture of an item or stuff like that, you can WhatsApp us at 275-2130. That's 275-2130. I said we have a lot of stuff for you guys at the Muslim store, may it be the engineering department, appliance department, and the homes department. Also, if you can always take a look at our Facebook page. We'll be updating the our page with all the deals that we're going to be having. Also, I will be here on the radio from tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday to give you guys a lot more details on our deals for Black Friday. And once I just wrapping up the program, I just want to remind all the customers and all the listeners, that our opening hours will be at 6 a.m. from to 6 p.m. on Black Friday. And I'm just so excited to just come here and give you guys all the good deals that we'll be having at the Muslim store. And I wish, Matt, you have a blessed day and a pleasant day as well. And everybody that's listening on the line this morning, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
I wish you the same. See you tomorrow.
All right, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tune in every morning for The Hot Seat on Q95, the latest happening event, breaking stories, and behind-the-scenes in-depth investigative reports. Stay locked for more fair and balanced talk on The Hot Seat on Q95, the big station.
Again, just want to inform you that in an hour or so, we'll hear whether the High Court judge will give bail to Mr. Jonathan Lerere, accused of double murder in Soufrière. The international communities, especially the Canadians, are looking very close. Dominicans, I'm sure, are monitoring themselves. I'll be monitoring as soon as the information is out. I'll share with you. But that's a matter we have to monitor very, very closely there. 901, Dominica, 901. Yes. Consideration being given to Mr. Jonathan Lerere this morning. Somebody has a comment? Hello, yes?
Yes, but I have a comment. But I hope the people of Sufu here, all the people the man had employed in his place, the one that is dead, not all of them should put themselves down by the court and throw themselves on the mercy of the court and tell the court no can do. Man, can you remember that? Good morning again, man. Can you remember that young guy who lost his life in Tortola, one of them countries in the Caribbean?
Yeah, I remember.
That Dominican guy?
Mm-hmm.
When the Americans were given bail, they skipped bail, and how many years now they haven't come back to face the court, and they will not come back. They escaped. They got bail from the Georgia, whoever it was in Tortola, and that poor guy is dead. If they knew that they didn't kill the guy, they would have come. They didn't do it. It was I have no idea what to use, man. If they knew that they were innocent.
Clearly, the blue. You seem angry. You seem angry this time.
Man, I'm not angry. That's not angry, man. If they knew that the boy was innocent, or they were innocent, they would have come back to face trial. But they did not. They stayed in America because they got bail. Giving Jonathan Lara bail. We'll just make him skip bail and don't come back. What are you going to hold him on? His property? When his property is in court? And we don't know who that he have the property with. We are lawyers doing dirty work for him. We don't know. The day after that murder was committed there, Matt, you see lawyers in his house, in his yard, doing what they're doing. Who the hell know what they were doing? There should be no bail for Jonathan Lehrer. He and his company should stay their BS in jail till the trial. Baba, Sipla Sufriya, come down and help a man that had all your children and all your community. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Let's see. We can take a few calls on this one there. Of course, as I just mentioned to you, information from the court is that at about 10 o'clock this morning, the judge will decide whether he will be given bail. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Good morning. Yes?
Matt, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Here's a question that will be even more relevant.
What's that?
If indeed and in fact Mr. Lehrer is granted bail, but it is still relevant today. Is his business continuing? Is his position as a CBI agent, is it still continuing while he is being held at the state prison? This company that he has, is it a company or he as an agent, is it still operating and a profit from it still going to him? And will it continue after he's bailed and he leaves the shores of Dominica? These are some questions that are going through my mind, Matt. And if they do, at what point, if he does not return for the case, will it continue to go on as a fugitive of the law? These are some questions going through my mind, Matt, and you might want to ask around and see what the answers to those questions are. Thank you.
Well, again, we have to closely monitor what's going on there. Will the people of Suffrage stand? Well, I guess we'll find out. It's about 55 more minutes. On the telephone, good morning. Yeah.
Love life like he'll enjoy, particularly gratitude, Matt. Let it be our best friend. Matt, is his alleged accomplice will be granted bail if they grant him bail as well, Mr. Pelte? Do you know?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even know that he'll be taken down from the jail this morning. I think they're just concentrating right now on Mr. Lehrer.
No, I'm saying the way they are persisting that he should get bail. Matt, I told you about Al Capone in America. Big, crime guy and, drugs or whatever he was. And his lawyer went down with him because they proved that the lawyer was an accomplice in his crimes, Matt. So the way these people are persisting that Jonathan Lehrer is being granted bail, Matt, to me it is frightening. And if he is claiming to be sick, what about his alleged co-conspirator, Matt? Because, it's a free-for-all. I am just saying, Matt, we're talking about superior people. That's why you see me with politicians. I have a zero tolerance for politicians. I watch Dominicans created a monster of Roosevelt spirit, and I refuse to see all the indicators telling me, look, monsters are coming, and for me to shut up and say, well, it's my party. Praise God, I have a party. I have no political friends. I have social friends, Matt. Politicians particular. I do not want a politician to be my political friend. You're my brother. Yes, you're my friend socially. But you will not be excused, Matt, when I see you. I will not use the nasty word I wanted to use because I really get all emotional. Matt, Dominica need mobilization. Dominica need organization against the enemies of this country, Matt. And if people cannot understand, let us talk about unity. We cannot unite. But whether it is in fragmentation, we need to mobilize. We need to organize. We need to strategize. Today is the Canadian and his girlfriend, Matt. You there with me, sir?
I'm still here.
They get, I mean, that was barbaric, Matt. That was extremely savage and cruel, Matt, in the way these people were gotten rid of, Matt. And all of a sudden, they are alleged victims. Interesting. And all of a sudden, the people that are accused of killing them, now they want to set them free to go for medical care in America, where they are from, Matt, or where he is from. And then, it has nothing to do with me. But what if that is my bread and butter? No, it's my food, COVID, and shelter, no? Why me? I don't even know them people. So what? Demand die. Today's blessings. No problem, tomorrow is control. No problem, tomorrow is math. No problem. We cannot say math problem is my problem. What did Christ say? Whatsoever you do to the least of my brother or brothers, that you do unto me. When your comrade beard catch fire, take water and sprinkle yours. Because next is yours, the heat, the infernal will consume you. Why do you think is those guys that die in police custody? Not my children, no, not my brother, it's not that. Tomorrow when your own die, the same people say, well, it's not my, and we're just allowing foreigners and the criminal enterprise, the Dominican Liberal Party, to stay and run amok with state affairs. I can't say governance because this country haven't got a government. This country have a full-fledged dictator, and through the corruption that contaminated or corrupt the system, the legal system, the bar association, the police, the banking system, guess what, Matt? It's just a free for all. And the boy he can get away. Go to hell, it's not your damn business. No law, not even the Constitution. You can go with all the lawyers in the world. And the man is persistently obvious in your face. It's clear, he's not hiding. And he has stupid priests and pastors going in the incantation to cast the demons out when the demon is the one that is hiring them to come and cast demons out. Or you want to sit down there and wait for things to get worse than it already is? Don't worry, it's just a matter of time. I've said a lot,
All right, blessings. Thank you very much. 9:11 is the morning time. A lot of reactions there as it relates to my phone and messages. Matt, why is she saying that we should? Why isn't she saying that we should all get on the street? The man wasn't only terrorizing the Canadians that he murdered, but Dominicans who were traversing the public road there. The government is trying to save their backside. Dennis's statement speaks volumes about the culpability in what they allowed to happen. I'll just play the statements there from Denise some time ago on a documentary with Canadian television.
Many families from the constituency who use that road to walk, exercise, had a lot of difficulties because they have a lot of dogs. They would come out and scare people. So we had a lot of challenges.
Denise Charles was a friend of the couple who was killed. She's also Dominica's Minister of Tourism. She represents the constituency where Daniel Langlois and Jonathan Lear's properties are located. She brought them all together to mediate the dispute, twice, to no avail.
We agreed at the meeting that we were going to engage the Ministry of Public Works to help us to do a survey of the area and to see where we could have an alternative road to Daniel's property. Jonathan went ahead and just decided he was cutting another road. There were opportunities to resolve the matter amicably, but Jonathan was not interested in that. He wanted to do his own thing. Daniel's stance was always avoid confusion. Let's be peaceful. Let's avoid noise. He did not aggravate the situation. He did not seek any problems. I feel that Jonathan was more the aggressor because he constantly would say one thing and do another. Daniel, on the other hand, was a man of his word.
It's true. But Jonathan Lear's lawyer is also here. He just met his client, and his message to us is simple.
I know he's innocent, and that's a clear case. They're alleging that at a particular time, both victims, or alleged victims, were killed. That's what they say. Yeah. They're indicating what time they think it occurred. They also disclosing to us documents and statement that says that the first time our client was seen at the area was 5 hours later.
So in other words, the prosecution so far cannot say where Mr. Lever was at the time.
And they're required to say, not us.
No, I get it.
They're required to say where he was.
It's 9:14 in the morning again. We're here. A little after 10 o'clock. Let's take our final call on this one. And we'll move on to the burning subject at hand. On the telephone, yes? Good morning.
Matt, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Matt, in any country, heads would roll according to that level of crime. But if that bullshit prime minister we have, nothing will happen.
All right, thank you very much. I know a lot of people are saying, but what does it have the prime minister have to do with that? It's the courts now. On the telephone to decide, it's in the hands of the High Court judge. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Good morning.
Matt, good morning.
Yes, sir. You're back.
Matt, I'm not a lawyer by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know, it disturbs me when they keep using that word alleged. I mean, you can use a word, but at some point, you cannot take it too far. You cannot allege that there were victims. 2 people died. You're saying that they were killed. How is it an allegation? It is unlikely that these 2 people, based on the evidence that they have, committed suicide and then burnt themselves and tried to throw themselves over the cliff. They were already consumed. It cannot be alleged that they're victims. And I think that's taking it too far. I mean, you use the word allegation to be careful, but you're going too far, Mr. Lawyer. 2 people are dead and you know it. And there is evidence to say that it was very close to Mr. Lera's property. There was a witness who was challenged and he gave his statement. I won't get into it. He was challenged by them. How is it you're saying they cannot put him on the spot? They challenged the guy. They told him he couldn't come on the property using that road. And they even challenged him that he couldn't go up the White to Kubli Trail, which is a government trail. It is not Mr. Lear's property by any stretch of the imagination. They prevented him from going up a government park trail. How is that possible? That he cannot locate you at that time. That lawyer is feeding us something that is unrealistic, and I challenge it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much again. As just speaking to a few lawyers, he's innocent until proven guilty, huh? 9/11, but the WhatsApp messages keep coming in, the voice notes keep coming in, and let's see if we can share a few at this time.
Matt, do you see where Dennis Charles erred in her mediation, Matt? A matter like that with the 2 parties, she decided to bring them together to mediate it, Matt. But she was also looking for an alternative road. Why an alternative road?
All right. So, okay, let's continue there. I have to, yes, let's see if we can continue that conversation.
When the road that is there is a public road that both parties had access to and all Dominicans had access to. But she was looking for an alternative route and an alternative road so that the Daniel Langwa could access his hotel. Now, there and then, there alone, it gave this criminal from the States the reason to believe that he had all rights to do what he was doing, terrorize people on the public road, block the public road. That is why nothing could be done. So why didn't they call in the police? Why, after so many attempts, so many calls to the police. Why the police did not do what they were accustomed of doing? Why didn't they go in and tear gas? Tear gas the Lera man. Why didn't they go in and do what they do to ordinary Dominicans, indigenous Dominicans, when they have a protest and they attempt to block the road? And where was the Minister of Security? You mean he did not know of that problem? Matt, the deaths of the Canadians are squarely at the feet of the government. And do not tell me that Lennox Lawrence is just the lawyer. No, he's more than just the lawyer, because you know well Lennox Lawrence is also a passport seller, and you know well he is part of the government. He's involved with the government. So he's not just any lawyer. And believe you me, he should recuse his damn self from this case, because listen to all his prejudices. He know his client is innocent. How do you know the client is innocent? So do you know who killed them? Lennox. Do you know who killed the people? Were you there? I heard of all kind of madness that the
For some reason, your audio dropped there. On the telephone, hello, talk to me.
Matt, just quickly.
Yes.
But did you hear Lennox Lawrence said that it is up to them to prove where his clients were, Matt?
Yes.
Matt, isn't that sickening and ridiculous, Matt?
From your point of view.
I
said that would be from your point of view.
Yeah, well, from my own perspective, Matt, I am saying you cannot, so you don't know where your clients were. It is up to the people,
The prosecution, yes.
It's up to the prosecution to prove where your clients were, and you don't know where they were. You cannot say my clients indefinitely say my clients were not there. Look, they were A, B, and C. And if you prove they were elsewhere, prove it. If you're accusing them to be elsewhere. But the other thing, it's very interesting, you know. I run things. How the hell Dennis Charles were the one who even want to talk to public works? And you said people might be saying, oh, what the prime minister has to do with that is the cut. But the man run every damn thing. That's what he tell you. Charles, he was talking to Thomas later and he said, but he was telling Dominicans, it's just like when he said, go to hell, it's not your damn business. He was telling Dominicans the same thing. So I run things. But nothing is beyond the control, reach, and manipulation of Roosevelt Skerrit. He said it when he uttered those words. I run things and tell people go to hell is not their damn business. Go for all the lawyers in the world and all of that. And it is sad, Matt. Let me give Dennis Charles a little credit, Matt. She was there mediating, and she could clearly say, maybe she saw the foreigners, Matt. You know you're enemy number one, Matt. What, your favorite enemy, Matt? Something so?
Enemy number one. Enemy number one in the South.
So she would not have opened up and be that obvious with what actually happened up there. But she told it to the foreign people that the man was quite aggressive. And Jonathan and the Canadians were very peaceful. They're the peaceful ones. They did not want noise. And Matt, get public works to cut an alternative route. When it's Dominica, that is not your road you buy. You come out America with all your nasty military gang attitude and come with your racist attitude and chase locals, chase an investor, and all of a sudden we want to create an alternative route for you. So Matt, you see when you see you are affiliated with the Dominica Lethal Party, not by any means necessary, you will be accommodated. It is obvious. Not I want to be a lawyer, you know. Anyway, I want to...
Well, again, the horse has left the stable. It's up to the judge to make that decision in a few minutes, huh? Maybe what, 37 minutes? A little over that, huh? We'll have to watch. That's Q95 monitoring the big decision to be taken in the court this morning. Somebody's asking this. Clem, are you going to the court this morning? Is Blessings going to the court this morning? $9.23. Hello, yes, good morning. Yeah.
Morning, man. How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing,
But
Michael?
Very interesting. We're waiting on the decision. Matt, I'm not hearing anybody saying that this man has violated the fundamental rights of free movement of people, not only Jonathan and his lady friend, but owners of land violated their fundamental rights of free movement on a public road. And we have a minister inviting them in the office to mediate instead of getting the police chief to arrest the guy for violating people's fundamental rights of free movement. There's a public road in Roseau where people are moving freely. And because somebody is protesting against the government, they want to arrest them and they charge them. Okay? This man should be in jail without bail for just violating people's fundamental rights of free movement. And we as a people are taking our fundamental rights for a joke. Police want to block us in Roseau on Wednesday. All of us should come out and tell them this is a public road. When did they pass an SRNO to declare it a holiday on a Wednesday or no entry on a Wednesday? We allow the Prime Minister to do too many things to us. And he's allowing the foreigners, as you can see, he has given foreigners leeway over us. They were driving vehicles without license plates. They have priorities to government contracts. They're doing all sorts of things against us, and we allow that. Now, if that judge allows bail and Dominicans just sit there, then I can tell you we're in trouble. Because this man also violated his right of life. We must read our constitution and understand our rights. Police cannot tell you can't stand on a sidewalk. If you're doing something wrong, he can tell you that. He cannot tell me you can't go towards Kennedy Avenue, the Ministry of Finance. I don't need no police permission for me to demonstrate. The Constitution doesn't tell you need police permission. When you demonstrating or you're processing, having a process, if you're interfering with traffic, then they can hold you on that. But if you're just walking around Roseau, they want to define it as a procession and you need to go to police for exercising your fundamental right. And we signed an agreement under the Millennium Goals, right? We signed a treaty that we will allow civil disobedience to be a fundamental right. That is part and parcel of the agreement of the Millennium Fundamental Goals. We have treaty to that. Yet they have people going to court. One is released and the rest going to court every day for incitement. And nobody says who was arrested, who committed the violence. It was young people who did it in Roseau, and they want to blame the opposition for it. This thing is wrong, and I am looking at that judge very seriously. And if he does that, then if you can give a criminal bail when he is charged for murder, he should also be charged for violating people's fundamental rights of free movement so that they can understand the extent of his crime. Okay? He did interfere with people's fundamental rights. He did do that. He even put dogs on people. You cannot do that in a democratic country. So I want to see if the judge is going to say this is a DLT country and not a democratic country. We're a republic. We have an agreement with our people, which is our constitution. And the judge has to uphold that constitution. I'm hoping and I'm praying God that this will happen. because people can't come to Dominica. You think if a Dominican were to do that in America, they would lynch him? Not, I want to rest my case, because I cannot take that anymore. No?
Rest your case, my brother. Rest your case. But keep watching, keep monitoring the court, huh?
If this guy leave Dominica and he don't come back, what they should do, they should have the lawyer to pay for his punishment, whatever it is. If it's jail, the lawyer should go jail for him.
Nine 929. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Hello.
I would give Jonathan Lehrer bail on one condition, that he voluntarily walks to the gallows so he can hang him. Good morning.
People asking for the people of Sufre to come out. What about the rest of the people? Hello, talk to me. I have the Dominicans who understand. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Good morning.
Matt,
yes, you're back.
The critical point that I see,
and
I'm going to ask it in the form of a question. Didn't Mr. Lehrer and his accomplice not try to leave Dominica? And if the answer to that is yes, then you have two accused who are at risk of flight. And under those conditions, they cannot be granted bail. They tried to leave Dominica via the south on a boat. Haven't you heard that, Matt?
I've heard that, but I don't have that information per se. It's alleged that they tried to leave Dominica on boat, huh? Okay.
Right, that's where they were caught. Where were they caught?
Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know. I wasn't there.
Matt, because you're not there doesn't mean you do not know. That's
that's what you heard. I guess you heard it from where? Where did you hear it? Were you there?
No, but I'm asking a question.
No. Well, you were making a statement a while ago. Were you there? Were you there? You heard that they were trying to leave Dominica. I'm asking you a question. Were you there? That's the question. I guess the prosecution will present the case when it starts. All right, Dominica, I will be monitoring very closely. I'll let you know what went on there at the court. Maybe we'll bring another discussion sometime later. Let's do this and come back.
Super 6 keeps rising and rising and has now risen to an astronomical $454,000. Take a chance, rise to the occasion, and grab the Super 6 jackpot of $454,000.
Hey, Dominica, we started a conversation yesterday, and a lot of people actually requested of me to repeat the contribution of Mr. Simeon Joseph on this issue as it relates to 184. That's it. That's where I got the 4 from. $184,500. For the approval to purchase vehicle, the Honorable Minister has approved, talking about the Minister of Finance, has approved the purchase of a vehicle to be used for the transportation of the children of the Prime Minister. The vehicle to be purchased, based on my information, has already been purchased to J. Asafin and Company Limited at the cost of $184,000. 500. And now, I'm hearing that the acolytes of the Labour Party seem to be very angry and investigating who from audit may have leaked that document. Let's listen to Mr. Simeon Joseph for the next few minutes on the very subject.
the question that has to be asked, Matt, is whether under the government expenditure there is an allowance for personal benefits for the family of the Prime Minister or any government minister, if you understand what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Now, 2 minutes ago, I got a hold of a copy of the letter. I think it has been going around for since morning, but in order to be responsible, I decided to see if I can get a copy of the letter. And someone sent me a copy of the letter, and I'm seeing the head. Because one of the things that people need to be informed about is that every government ministry has certain heads upon which monies are to be spent or allocated. And I'm seeing the head D30 M100 item 450, a sum of, and looking at the 2004, 2005 estimates of the government of Dominica, I would encourage people to look for the budget. Okay, because when I looked at the letter, I decided to source the budgetary allocation under that head. And I'm seeing under the estimates of the government of Dominica 2024 to 25 that item 450 under that budget, that the sum of $132,000 was budgeted for the purchase of machinery, including vehicles and equipment. And it would mean, therefore, that if that is the amount that was allocated for vehicles and equipment for that particular ministry, D30 M100, it would mean, therefore, that they would have to get an additional sum of $52,500 to be provided for the purchase of that vehicle. And so I want to ask the following questions. And situation at hand, in the sense that let us Matt, inform Dominicans that under any government head or department, there is no expense allocated for any child, any family member of any minister or the prime minister or the president of Dominica, for that matter. So therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. Therein lies the issue. There is no authorization under government expenditure for the family members of the Prime Minister or any government minister. The question is, how does the Minister of Finance approve money from government to be spent for a family member of the Prime Minister or any minister of government? That is a major red flag, and based on that fact, this is considered corruption and embezzlement. Now, Matt, bear with me. Let me make some comparisons, because I think I've been around long enough. Growing up, I lived at Monbruce, and living at Monbruce between 1971 and 1979 was Mr. E.O. Libla, Patrick Roland John, and Oliver Serafin. Matt Eolibla lived at Monbruce, and his children would walk up and down Monbruce to convent and grammar school every day, up and down, never even being driven on the government vehicles. Patrick John was Prime Minister. His children lived in Court Street, Hephilia, Paula, and the others. And he too, his children would walk to school every day. I remember in 1978 when Desiree John purchased a personal vehicle when she left the Ministry of Agriculture to go to work at Ross University in Portsmouth. She purchased a personal vehicle and was granted a certain amount of duty free so that she could get a vehicle to commute from Roseau to Portsmouth. There was a public meeting in Lago on that alone, and every speaker on that platform, many of whom are around today supporting this government because they were freedomites then, were part of being on the platform. And I can call some of them names because I know they are still alive today. They went on the platform and they lambasted Patrick John for giving his wife, although she had to go to the bank to take a loan to pay for it from her pocket, for the wife of the Prime Minister to drive her own self from Roseau to Portsmouth every day without any security guard. Okay? And so let us also forget when the Freedom Party came into power in 1980, Vic Revere, Patrick John, Sylvester Joseph were arrested. Patrick John was arrested for $42 for not returning funds on travel expenses. Vicky was arrested for $21.72 because he traveled and he did not return his finances. Sylvester Joseph was arrested for $14.25 because they claimed that he used government vehicle and bought petrol on God for his personal use. Let us not forget that. Many of the people then in 1980 who were in support of these people being arrested and castigating the government then for those things are still around today. Many of them are Freedomites or former Freedomites sitting in this present Labour Party government. That's one comparison. Let us compare internationally. The children of the President of the United States of America do not have a private vehicle. Malia and Sasha Obama, when Obama was the person who received the most threats as President of the United States of America, his children, he had to bring in his wife's mother to be the nanny of the two children, and they were not provided any private vehicle to go to school. Over the years, we have never heard, go back to Amy Carter under Jimmy Carter. These children were not provided any private vehicle to go to school. And so making those comparisons, and we fast forward to today's situation, this is illegal, this is corrupt, this is embezzlement, because for any allocation to be made to anybody to have a vehicle to go, it has to be for the purpose and the function of governmental duties and responsibilities. And so that is why allocations are made under the heads of various ministries for equipment and vehicles, so that when money is spent, it is spent on public servants who are doing government work. The children of the current prime minister are not doing any government work. They are not messengers. They are not cleaners. They are not anything. They are not nothing to be working for the government of Dominica. And therefore, the government of Dominica has no legal right, no fiduciary right, no responsibility to provide any transportation for these children. Let us go further, Matt. There are nurses in Dominica who have to walk to the hospital for work. There are police stations in Dominica without proper vehicles. There are fire stations in Dominica without ambulances. Not even at the airport there's a proper ambulance. I don't think Granby has an ambulance. I don't think Portsmouth has an ambulance. Okay? There are several government departments, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, without vehicles for government employees to do their work, to be transported from point, not even from their homes, but to be transported from point A to point B to fulfill government functions under which monies are to be allocated for the provision of public servants to do their work. Okay? This is grievous and this ought not to happen. I would humbly suggest to the authorities that be that if this vehicle was bought at the expense of the taxpayers' money in Dominica, that they demand that that vehicle be paid for from the salary of the Prime Minister and his wife, who are already drawing a big salary in Dominica. And I would also humbly suggest that the state funds that are being used to transport these children around stops immediately, and that they use the large amount of funds and resources that they're being paid daily to pay for the nannies, hire some retired police officer or some person to provide security for their children, and they begin to the expenses for the provision for the children be met from the fat salaries that they are getting and not from state funds. Finally, Matt, to the public servants, to the ministers of government, to the financial secretary, the director of audit, and all these government employees who are in breach of the Constitution, who are in breach of the laws of Dominica, who are in breach of financial store rules, and are enabling that kind of behavior and misuse of government funds, think again, because they could be committing treason. The financial secretary is appointed by virtue of the Constitution. The director of audit is appointed by virtue of the Constitution. The cabinet secretary is appointed by virtues of the Constitution. they get their authority, and their duties and responsibilities are outlined in the Constitution. And so, therefore, they are servants of the state. By defying the Constitution and defying the state, they are therefore acting treasonously because they are undermining the Constitution and they are actually breaking the laws of state, and they have to think very much about that before they continue. Finally, I would like to add a word of caution to junior public officers and junior public servants. They need to be very careful of the instructions that they carry out at the behest of those senior public servants. People like the permanent secretaries, people like the financial secretary, people like the cabinet secretary, who, at the behest of this government, who insists of breaching the Constitution, breaking the law, circumventing standing rules and orders, bypassing all rules and norms of government, that these junior public servants seriously get to understand and know what directives, what instructions they obey. Because if it is at all that should this government be changed, all of them, every single one of them, are endangering themselves and putting themselves in a position where they will have to face the consequences for breaching the laws of state in the execution of their duties. That is where the Public Service Union has to come in now. And the Public Service Union has to take a stand. And the Public Service Union has to advise its members that in the execution of their duties, they must be very careful how they fulfill their duties and responsibilities and their functions. And I call on every public servant, senior and junior, temporary or non-temporary, that they had better get to know their duties and responsibilities. Understand standing rules and orders, understand general orders, understand financial store rules and the different regulations of the public service in the execution of their duties. Because we have reached a stage where if that can happen, if this execution can take place, it means therefore that we now have a situation whereby our government is rogue, our public servant is rogue. The Minister of Finance ought to know that he has no legal authority to approve monies of the state for the purchase of a private vehicle. That raises many questions, Matt. And the questions that it will raise is, how many more private vehicles have been bought for members of families of people sitting in government today? How many more and how much more government finances has been approved by the Minister of Finance for the use of family members of the present government in Dominica today? And I am hoping that the suspicion that the Minister of Finance may have done this for a quid pro quo, I cannot believe the Minister of Finance approved that without he himself having some personal gain. That must be an arrangement for barter. And so, therefore, that is a serious thing that has to be considered. And there is no excuse. I heard what Chad said. I heard what other people said. But there is absolutely no excuse. There is no precedence. There is no provision. There is no regulation. There is no law under the budgetary allocations of Dominica and the expenses of the heads that allows for the approval of any vehicle or equipment for the private use of any child or family member of government.
Let me ask you a quick question, Simeon, because I'm being told now that investigations are going on to find out just who leaked this document. Would you be surprised?
Well, I would not be surprised, but I would not be, how do I put it? I would not, well, of course, I would expect the director of audit and the financial secretary to find out. It is their job to do it. But the question is it wrong and is it illegal? Public servants are not sworn like bank officials to secrecy. Okay? And remember, every public servant is not a servant of they are both a servant of the state and of the public. So in the execution of their duties as public servants, while they have to conform to the rules of the public servant, they have a responsibility to public accountability. They have a responsibility to inform the public of matters that are affecting them. And so, Matt, there is a case that happened in England some time ago. I was searching for it this morning. And I would like to say, after listening to this as well, that I don't think this is a secret or confidential communication, because unlike members of cabinet when they take an oath, because when every minister takes an oath, they take an oath not to devolve anything from cabinet, okay? In terms of the deliberations of cabinet, they take an oath not to disclose any deliberations in cabinet. Public servants don't have that oath. They don't have that obligation. Okay, the general orders that exist does not debar public servants from making public information. The most it says is they cannot speak to the media on public matters. That's all it says. It does not debar them from speaking about anything they see wrong happening in government. It does not debar them. I think there was a case in England some time ago where a former public servant and I think a former minister, public officials were challenged by the cabinet secretary at the time after they had left the public service from publishing documents. And it went all the way to the High Court in England and the Privy Council. And the Privy Council deemed that there was nothing wrong in that, because the matters that were being discussed were in the interest of the public and in no way jeopardize the state. I don't think any. They, of course, it's the job of the director of audit and the financial secretary and the cabinet secretary, whom I assume would be the people who would be thinking. They have to be very careful, because it means therefore, and that is why I said this: the public service comes in, because it means therefore, if they choose to victimize, if they choose to punish, if they choose to do anything to any public servant who speaks about anything that happens in government that comes in their purview, they have to be very careful how they deal with that person, because they make it by making a public servant very rich if they get a good lawyer. So while it is their responsibility to find out, okay, who divulged it, fine, but they have to be very careful what they do with anybody who divulged it, because the courts in the British system whom we follow are replete of situations where public servants have been challenged, and they can do nothing with them. The most they can do is victimize them or do something like that, but they have no, they cannot do that. So, but I mean, yes, they can do it. But the point of the matter is this: a public servant is not only a servant of the state, they are also a servant of the public. And their first obligation is to the public, even like the Attorney General. People tend to think that the Attorney General of Dominica is the lawyer for the government. No, he's the lawyer on behalf of the people. And that's why in many jurisdictions, the Attorney Generals can take action against the government on behalf of the people. But in Dominica, we have an Attorney General who's thinking that he's representing government. No, absolutely not. The Attorney General, according to the Constitution, is a lawyer on behalf of the people. Public servants act on behalf of the people. That's why they are called public servants. And so they can investigate as much as they want. I guess they will start thinking and everything. But the question is it true? And so far it has proven to be true. And I would suggest, instead of investigating who has done it, they need to be able to go back in the recesses of the experience and begin to find out where has this happened, and it should not happen again. So it is the responsibility of the financial secretary and the responsibility of the director of audit when this nonsense, stupid instructions are given from ministers of government and the minister of finance. Absolutely no, sir, it cannot be done, because Mr. Clancy Signoret and Mr. Vernon Shaw and Mr. McTawick Dogtrove would stand up to Eugenia Charles and Patrick John and any prime minister who dare to issue an order to purchase a vehicle for a private person. The former permanent secretaries like Mrs. What is her name? All the former permanent secretaries when would stand up to like Mrs. Ronna Fingal and Mrs. Boyd and Jennifer White and all these people there, the former permanent secretaries of guts. And Elud Williams, I knew when he was permanent secretary, he stood up to ministers, would stand up and say, never happen, no come, so that not go happen. I don't think Mr. Julian Johnson, an outstanding public servant of legal repute, would ever allow that to pass through his state as cabinet secretary. Alec Lazar, the former financial secretary, or what is his name, Desmond Calai, or this kind of people, or Mr. Williams would never would stand up to any prime minister or minister of government who dare give instructions to use private public funds for personal use. It means, therefore, that if at all there is any investigation being done within the government service, the public, the head of the civil service, now the cabinet secretary, the financial secretary, who is not only a financial secretary for Dominica, but I understood he's in all kind of jobs all over the world, and the director of audit must now stand up and say, yes, it is out, whoever puts it out, but you are wrong to give that instruction. It is against the use of capital expenditure. It is against the use of government funds. It is against the use of taxpayers' money, because the public servants are being paid by the taxpayers. And the government earns its income by the taxpayers, and they dare not use taxpayers for personal gain. They use tax money to buy ambulances. They use tax money to buy vehicles for policemen. They use tax money to buy fire equipment. They use tax money to buy equipment for the hospital. That is what tax money is being paid for. Tax money is not being paid to purchase children for personal vehicles for the children of the prime minister or any government minister for that matter. This is absolute nonsense.
All right, Dominic, at 9:54. Well, I wish I could get Mr. Simeon Joseph again, because based on an insider, I'm listening to Simeon's contribution, and the person says you may be dead wrong, because auditors do take an oath of secrecy, which is where the document was leaked. So, Mr. Joseph, if you're listening, please give me a call. So the document apparently came from audit, and the auditors there do take an oath of office or secrecy. But I'm sure in the past they have leaked other documents. We didn't see an uproar about that. I'm also hearing too that a former auditor, who's a well-known spokesperson for the Labour Party, let me share. That this auditor maybe is actually angry and maybe pushing to fire the staff member of audit that leaks that document. They are very angry about this leaked document and trying to find out, get to the bottom of where this document was leaked from, huh? Hello on the telephone. Good morning to you. Yes.
Good morning, Matt. How are you doing?
How are you doing, sir? How are you?
Okay, Matt, based on what you just said, that somebody said that based on what Mr. Simeon Joseph said, the auditor took an oath of secrecy. Is that correct?
The auditors took an oath of secrecy, yes.
So even if they take an oath of secrecy, they have been doing corruption all the time, man, Matt. So what they're doing is right then. If you take an oath, why are you doing wrong things? So they have been doing, if you take an oath, why do you have to be doing wrong things? You have to do these things right.
In other words, whatever they see in there have to stay in there. You understand?
So in other words, Matt, they have been doing a lot of corruption over the years.
Well, I cannot say that. I can't say that. Yes. They, of course, they follow the rules of the job. So whatever they see there in audit, they should it should be kept right there. So let's see what happens again. 449-3095, 96 and 97. Well, you can't make a blanket statement to say, what they have been doing wrong there, huh? A former employee of audit is saying that the former auditor himself hid so many reports and did not disclose to the public, which is public information. Let's take another phone call, 449-3095-9697. Hello, yes? Good morning.
Yes, I'm using God's word.
Yes?
The Bible said in Psalm 50, I forget it, but Psalm 50 said it, if thou fearest of it and contended with it, thou art a partaker of it. So if you do something, even though you make an oath, and you see this thing really wrong, going to cause destruction or going to cause some problems, and you hold it secret, it will not work because God said that if you see something that's wrong, He ought to expose it and say that sometimes we have to apply God's word with the word of the land, you see, because something is wrong, and He said that if you know it's sin, you do something and it's sin, you do something, it is sin. So if you see something is wrong and the person takes an oath, as far as I see, when people make oath, even so, it's more God you make an oath for. He said, do not make it under the oath, not above. Because the oath, you have to keep it, but at the same time, at the same time, you have to expose it. Thank you very much.
So you're basically supporting what this fly on the wall, they say fly on the wall, leaked. So again, investigations continue as we speak. Some people are very angry, including a former auditor who says that this person should be fired for this leaked document. So and that's some you submitted, sir, from what I gather, so many discredited reports for years, and now you're asking for people necked to be brought to the gallows. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Good morning.
Morning, Matt.
Morning.
Matt, when that thing leaked to Sodina Hospital, it was easy for them to fire the person, right? We cannot be selective when we choose to. That is unethical, no matter who government, what government, who person. You don't do that. That is a person that cannot be.
And you don't think that should be public information?
It should not.
Okay.
I am telling you, when it was for Dinah.
I'm asking you why. For Dinah's situation, can you compare? This is like chalk and cheese. Can you compare? We're talking about health information, and we're talking about that audit report that was leaked. You want to compare this, ma'am?
It's confidential, no matter what.
Really? So you would stand by and see this in front of you, and you would not share it with a friend of yours?
No, Matt, I am not telling you no. What I will do, I would do. You know what person I would have done, Matt? I would have resigned because I cannot stand to see.
You would tell the public officer resign, and they ask her why she resign, and you don't expect her to say why she resigned?
If we don't like it in order, we should not like it in that.
I think it's chalk and cheese. I don't think your comparison makes any sense at this time. Chalk and cheese. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Good morning again, Matt.
Morning
Matt,
to you, sir.
If it is in the interest of the country, I think it should be leaked. If it's not in the interest of the country, then it may be kept secret. But when
I'm just saying that to the caller there. You think Fadina's health business should be out there in the public? Would you want your health business to be out there in the public?
I don't want to involve Fadina in my...
Because that was the analogy that she tried to use, but I think that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I wouldn't want to use that, but I'm saying that Mr. Skerritt and his purchase of that thing through the finance minister, I'm asking myself, has Mr. Skerritt not also taken an oath? Mr. Skerritt has taken an oath. Has he broken it? How many times has he broken his oath to talk about somebody leaking a document like that, just to expose the kind of excess that this prime minister is going through? You know.
But don't you think that all government business, with the exception, say, of I'm trying to get the term, but it's not coming to mind, in terms of defense, and is secret? Is it secret that you disclose government business, which is our business?
Yeah, there are some strategic things, but in this case, Matt, this is an excess. This has nothing to do with strategy. This is not going to affect our relationship with some other country. This is political business where our prime minister is going into excess in a poor country like this, where he himself advises his supporters to use a margarine can to make your ice because that's what you can afford. But when it comes to him, he's going into excesses. And we, the public, should know and be aware of, yo, you getting excessive, my brother. Your wife have a fridge that dispensing ice cubes. You are the prime minister, but you're behaving like a king. That is our position. And we need to know when he's getting to that position, to that point, so we can correct him or remove him. Enough said.
All right, and the person is making a point. For security reasons, based on my training, for security reasons, you have to work with your government because some things, if leaked, might compromise the situation. But the auditor's job, and you can ask Mr. Clarence Christian, general responsibility to the people of Dominica is to report why, where, and when the people's monies were spent and for what. How then what is being said has to do with the auditors taking an oath? Anything to do with secrecy inside? Anything to do with defense? Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Or security? Yes, good.
Hi.
Yes,
I'm going to ask you just two questions so I can answer the question that's on the table. Is the matter involved? Does it concern government business?
It does.
So the government is involved in what? So what's the government business?
The document that was leaked, according to them, is a memo to purchase a vehicle for the children of the prime minister.
But is that government business? Is the government involved?
It's government. It's government's business. Of course, it was taken.
No, it happened in the government, but is it government business?
Why would you think it's not?
Well, the difference is, okay, the next question, to go to what Simeon raised, is it an issue that is allowed by the Constitution?
No.
It's not. Now, it seems to me, if it is not government business, not that just because something happened in government doesn't mean it's government business. So if you bribe someone, that's not government business. That is something that was done in the government. So if it is not government business,
and done by a minister of government, don't you think that would be what, conflict?
It doesn't make it government business. It is something that is.
If somebody in the street, Mr. Liquin, if somebody in the street did something, you would have that argument. But if it's done by a minister of government, you're saying it's not government business?
No, because here's my point. Government business is government on behalf, is business that the government is contracted to do. That is government business.
But this is taxpayers' money, my friend. This is taxpayers' money.
Exactly. No, what I'm saying is so that leaking that matter, from my perspective, if it is not government business, if it's unconstitutional, then as far as the Constitution is concerned, it is void. As far as the government is concerned.
So what would you do in that matter? What would you do if you are a member of government? You would just ignore it?
No. I'm saying if you speak about something that is void, you haven't broken any rules.
I'm still trying to get the argument, but I'm not picking it up. Maybe you may be right, or may be wrong. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, 1007. Yes, hello, talk to me.
My government business is the business of the people. And if you're in an authority, we put you in the government, and you're in that authoritative position, and you're excessive in your spending. It is our business as the people. And if someone in authority leaks it, they're doing the people...
And it's taxpayers' money.
They're making the taxpayers aware. They're doing them. They should be considered a hero. And that is a dilemma that is had in America, where they even leak, sensitive defense secrets, and it's considered in the interest of the people. Yet the government, the people in authority, go after the person who blows the whistle, but the people see that whistleblower as a hero. So do you see, when we put people in government, we give them a lot of authority, but they can abuse their situations, their positions.
Well, the argument is, some people are saying it's not government business what happened there. So whose business is it? Whose business?
Well, whatever business it is, it's in the interest of the people to know that it is in excess. I believe it's excessive. And the people should know that whoever we put there in authority is abusing our funds. Now,
I think it's taxpayers' business, taxpayers' money. I think it should be their business. I may be wrong on that argument, but we'll of course take your comments. Hello, talk to me, yes? Hello? Yes? Hello, sorry about that. We are listening to you. We're not hearing you, okay? Call back. Talk to me. Hello? Somebody says he may be right because he's a patriot. Hello, talk to me. So this is not government business, according to this text message. Talk to me, yes?
Are you a journalist or an operative over here?
Hello, talk to me. My brother, look under the mat. 1009. Hello, I'll find out who I am. Talk to me, yes?
Matt,
I'm here.
I find Dominicans taking things too easy. We have billions of dollars outside there we cannot get. And Dominicans still taking those things easy. You're taking $185,000 to buy a vehicle for your 2 children on our back, taxpayers' money, and Dominicans trying to beat around the bush and saying that government business. Heads should roll for those nonsense. Heads should roll.
Caller, thank you. Isn't there a whistleblower act in existence? Seems to be much. It seems to me such an act should be in existence, particularly the perceived level of corruption in Dominica. This is a former bank manager speaking on that one. There is just a note. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Hi, good morning, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm here.
I understand what Mr. Liquid is trying to say.
Okay.
Buying a vehicle for the fire department, that is government's business. Government is supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a vehicle for the Ministry of Finance, that's government business. Buying a vehicle for the Prime Minister of the Prime Minister's children, that is not government's business. Government is not supposed to be doing that. So it's not government's business. Yes, it was done through the government. The Minister of Finance signed off on it, Financial Secretary and whoever. But that is not government's business because government isn't supposed to be in the business of procuring vehicles for the Prime Minister's children. That's the point he was getting at.
I'm getting
He agree with you that yes, it have government stamp, it have taxpayers' money, but the point is that is not government's business. Government's business is not about buying vehicle for the Prime Minister's children. That's supposed to be their private business.
Should not be about buying. Yes, I get your point. Yes.
Right. So yes, they did it. Government money, but that is not government. We cannot say that is government business. I think that is what he was trying to say. Thank you.
I take the point. Thank you very much. 10:11 is the morning time. Talk to me, yes?
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning to you.
My government business is my business, and whatever that happens, we all need to know what is going on in the country. So whatever Kerry do, it is our business, so we need to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 10:11. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
Hello, good morning, Matt.
How are you?
Matt, I'm fine. Matt, I think you misunderstand where...
Yes, I think I'm getting in perspective here. Yes, I think
yes,
after...
because he is right. That is not government business.
You mean buying the vehicle for the children is not government business. I get you now. Yes,
he want the government to pay for something that is private business. He using the state, he using government offices to get $184,000 to pay for private thing. That is what he's saying. And that is corruption. That is a textbook example of government corruption. And the people must remember the United Workers' Party was voted out of office because of allegations of corruption. The people need to understand that those who climb on the hilltop and shout corruption, corruption, corruption are dishonest to the core, are corrupt to the core. It is time for them to go, Matthias Pelte Jr. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Somebody saying the argument is, Why the oath of secrecy when the director of audit has a responsibility to report to Parliament on all public spendings? I repeat, the oath of secrecy. Why the oath of secrecy when the director of audit has a responsibility to report to Parliament on all public spendings? This woman is crazy. Fernanda's medical report is private. This is using the public resources to be used to do a private deed. It's the people's money in the people, and the people has a right to know how every cent, all the money is being spent. All except something to do with national security, as I said earlier. You shall not release documents or information that may pose a risk of national security. Matt, this is not government business. To do something that is wrong is using the state's money to do a private deed. Bro, you're right. The people has a right to know because it's their money being spent. But was the government action right? No. So if the action was wrong, it's not government business to do what's wrong. I get the point after putting things in perspective here. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yeah?
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, yes.
Matt, the whistleblower did not do anything wrong. The senior public officials that failed to direct the ministers is they are doing wrong things because it is the duty and responsibility of the senior public servants to inform and direct the ministers, because the ministers would not necessarily know all the ins and outs of the government system in terms of expenditure, what they should do, how it should be done, the procedure is A, B, C. So it is left to the senior public officials to so direct the ministers. They cannot be there as a mannequin by accident and everything a minister come to them and tell them, do that, and then they just are in agreement. If what the minister asks you to do is not within the law of the public service, you're supposed to have the testicular fortitude and say, sir, this is so, it's not so, it can't be done that way, that is what. Public, our tax money that pay now, but you have a whole bunch of senior public officers now doing like it's the politicians that paying them from their back pocket. They're not working for us much. Time and time again, they are proven to we, the taxpayers of the country, that they are not working for us and they need to pull up their stakes and they need to start to work for the public and they need to have the testicular fortitude to tell the ministers, so this cannot be done because that is what the law says. And that is why all that shit happening. That good morning.
Good morning. Again, just to make the point to emphasize that children are not working for the government. So that their parents could give them a vehicle and nothing could be wrong about that. But we can't use the taxpayers' money to buy a vehicle. Are they working for the government, the children there? The parents are, but not them. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Good morning. Yeah?
Hello, good day, Matt.
Good day to you.
I just want to say it is time to time for this level of corruption to be ended in Dominica. And somehow the people can't seem to see past this corruption. God help Dominica. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I have not heard the usual suspects call and try to defend their government. 1017 says something is definitely wrong. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Matt, let me give you another example. You remember the example where the opposition asked how much money was spent on the prosecution of the opposition members and what the reaction of the security minister was in Parliament?
I remember.
He considered answering that question a security risk from what he said. That answering that question would create a security risk. So what he's telling us is that anything that might disturb this government, whatever this government does, and if I answer the question, it might cause a disturbance because of what the government did wrong, is a security risk. And as security minister, he refuses to answer the question. But they create the situation, and then they refuse to answer the question. The situation was created. They spent approximately, and I use the word approximately because we don't know the exact figure, $10 million in trafficking and fees for these lawyers, expensive lawyers from Trinidad, to prosecute the opposition. And then when asked in Parliament to answer the question, he would create a security risk by answering the question. You see the kind of nonsense, Matt? By he admitting to how much money they have spent prosecuting the opposition, which is just political harassment, he refuses to answer the question in Parliament. Do you think that's right? Enough said, Matt.
All right, thank you very much. I'm being told, I did not hear myself, but I suspect I'll get it sometime later, that Mr. Clarence Christian was saying on the other radio station, I think it was Kyrie, that is the state's responsibility. So the state was not existing for Mr. Edison James or Mr. O.J. Serafin or Patrick John. These acolytes just something else, But anyway, we'll try to get the statements and try to play it for you. The defense, that is the state's responsibility. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning to you. Yes.
The lawyer that spoke to you, I believe he's not a lawyer, but he knows.
Yeah, I think based on the perspective, I think I got the message. Yes. Thank
Matt, I have got no education, but before I talk, I know that it's not government business. The man thief. Government is thief on behalf of the government. He take his office and thief in. So that's not government business.
That's pure corruption, yeah? 1020, you remember all this accolade, all the criticism that was given to the United Workers' Party. This is now, it's chalk and cheese, Chalk and cheese, corruption plain in your face. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Matt, this is my final call for the day.
I hope so. Yes. Go ahead.
It's two questions. What percentage of the police are engaged in the personal protection of Roosevelt Skerrit? That's number one. And how much money has been spent on this prime minister to house him and protect him? These are two questions I'd like answered by the acolytes. And has there ever been a prime minister that they spent that kind of money on? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Let's chill. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, number one in the air. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, number one in the air. Down by the river, let's chill, let's chill. Down by the bar, let's chill, let's chill. My favorite beer, let's chill. Number one in Dominica, let's chill. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule. We're drinking Kubule, number one in the air. We're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, we're drinking Kubule, number one in the air. Kubule. Let's see. Kubule beer, distributed by Belfast Estate. Drink responsibly.
It's that time again when Akel Ruffle Mattress and Fabric Store is giving up to 40% on selected sheet sets, mattresses from 20 to 30%, fabric 30%, leverage 15%, and special prices on pillows. Visit Akel Ruffle Mattress and Fabric Store on King George V Street across from the Jolly's Wholesale on the Point Michelle bus stop. Call 440-2424 for more information.
Somebody book me on the Mouvement Créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui présenté Mouvement Créole. Tous les mardis soirs, 6 après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement Créole. à nous fait un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames, tous les mardis soirs. QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Mouvement créole à ce grand station QFM. Watchez avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Match ça.
All right, it's 10:23 in the morning. It's getting hotter by the minute. Joshua Francis is a lawyer. He's been monitoring the situation there. And I see him, I just saw the article there on social media. Joshua, what's your take on everything that you're hearing at this time? Because we're hearing that, this secret or this information should not be out there in the public. What's your take on everything you're hearing?
Good morning, Matt, and good
Morning,
to
morning,
you,
sir.
listeners.
Morning.
I hope you're having a very blessed morning. Happy Tuesday to you, Matt, and happy Tuesday to your listeners.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Matt, there has been a lot of discussion concerning that revelation in respect to monies allocated for purchase of a vehicle to transport the Prime Minister's children.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, the public rightfully has been looking at the matter from several perspectives. But this morning, I wish to share my opinion on the legal aspect concerning this matter. Now, we have moved past the issue of whether this document is authentic, because it has already been accepted that this document is authentic, in that the spokespersons of the government, by acquiescence, have accepted that this memo did in fact exist, and of course it has been leaked. The question now is whether the publication of such documents or the leakage of that document is a breach of confidence and violation of law in the Commonwealth of Dominica. And of course, I did not hear it myself, but I heard the pronouncement that a former auditor of the government of Dominica has asked that the person responsible or persons responsible for leaking that document should be disciplined and fired. So let us look at this first issue, whether in fact the leakage is a breach of confidence. Now, that question can be answered under the Public Service Act of Dominica, Chapter 2301 of the Revised Laws of Dominica 2017. And for those who are listening and have a keen interest in paying attention to the law governing the land and more to that issue, you can look for Section 41 of the said Revised Laws of Dominica. Section 40 deals with the duty of secrecy. And it reads, 41, a public officer shall not, without the proper written permission of his head of department or of the secretary to the cabinet, publish or disclose to any person otherwise than in the course of his duty as a public officer the contents of any classified document or information which has come to his knowledge in the course of his duty as a public officer. Now, I want the public to take note of a material statement here, any classified document. The question is whether that document, which we have accepted as a copy of an authentic document, is a classified document. And the definition, Section 2 of the Public Service Act, Chapter 2301, does provide the meaning of classified. It says here, Section 2, and the definition of the same act says that a classified document means a document which is stamped with either the word classified, secret, confidential, or restricted, and is initialed by a head of department or a minister of government. So the question is whether we see any such stamp, whether we see the word classified, secret, confidential, or restricted. And on the face of the document, which is in the public space, clearly there isn't any such stamp. Would you agree with me, Matt?
I agree. I'm looking at the letter right now, looking for the word classified. It's not there at all.
Right. And now, of course, the Act also goes on further to say what is a document, what it means, anything is writing, etc. So, as I said, for anyone who is interested in seeing what the law says, you can go online, Dominican laws, and you can look up for the Public Service Act, and you will get that information. Now, assuming that the person responsible for leaking the document has to be investigated, the question is, what does the law provide for the discipline of that person, if any? Again, under the same act, one can go and look for Section 11 of the Public Service Act, and it says, a public officer who, without reasonable excuse, does an act which A, amounts to failure to perform in a proper manner any duty imposed by him, B, contravenes any of the provisions of this act or any regulation made thereunder, C, is prejudicial to the efficient conduct of the public service or tends to bring the public service into disrepute, is liable to disciplinary proceedings for misconduct in accordance with the provisions of the Public Service Commission regulation in respect of the misconduct. And then it goes on to say, again, Section 12, the mode by which a public officer may leave the public service are A, on dismissal or removal in consequence of disciplinary proceedings. And of course, there are other areas by compulsory retirement, but I'm just going to stop here for the purpose of the discussion which is at hand right now. So, Matt, clearly, as far as the public enlightenment is concerned, one would conclude that the document in question is not of a classified nature, does not qualify to be a document protected under secrecy laws. Furthermore, Matt, if we were to question whether that leakage of the document is in the public interest, because there are common law cases which have already dealt with the issue, one would conclude that it is in the public interest that such document was made public. After all, Matt, you're looking at public resources. And you made the point earlier, there are exceptions to documents within the rank and file of the government, because, of course, there are sensitive documents, there are documents which contain content which touches and concern national security and other national issues that it is not in the best interest of the public for dissemination. But we cannot imagine that the issue at hand right now is not one of public importance. It is of great public importance for us to take note of what is happening with our scarce resources, especially right now where inflation is on the rise and people are struggling. We have the abundance of the empty pocket syndrome in Dominica, meaning that people are struggling financially. And yet it is a government that is presiding over a country where several public institutions and offices are suffering and struggling for absence of basic things like printers, ink. Can you imagine, Matt, as we speak, there are police stations in Dominica not equipped with printing papers, with printing ink. And for you to think of a prime minister allocating or authorizing the allocation of such funds for his children to be transported from point A to point B, it raises not just absurdity, but anger. And the public has reasons to be concerned about allocation of resources for that purpose. But Matt, if you have any further question in respect to the legality of the matter, I'm ready to answer.
Just hold on, Joshua. I want to play a statement I heard. Somebody just sent me about the state's responsibility. I think it was coming from Mr. Clarence Christian on a radio program last night. Listen a minute.
Security apparatus of the state requested a new vehicle to transport the children of the Prime Minister as a responsibility of the state.
Security reasons.
For security reasons. So a new vehicle, so this is thing, I do not know if it was purchased yet, but a new vehicle, approval was given to purchase a new vehicle to transport, for the state to meet its responsibilities to the children of the Prime Minister, whoever Prime Minister is there. Whichever Prime Minister is there, the state is responsible for transporting. You go to the US, Barack Obama was it the state Secret Service transporting children to school?
Yes.
So you listen to Clarence Christian. What's your take when you're hearing this is a state responsibility to bring the Prime Minister children to school?
I disagree, and I strongly disagree to qualify my statement. Of course, Clarence Christian is bidding for his government. He has never made any admission or confession of any wrongdoing by this government. In the eyes of this gentleman, we have an immaculate government, a holy government, a righteous government, a government that never fails. So we do not expect anything better from the gentleman, and I am not going to waste my time and energy responding to him. As a matter of fact, the statement which he made has no legal merit, although in a piece that I wrote, I have admitted that in respect to the legality of the allocation, it may very well be legal. But the issue for Dominica is not really a legal one per se. It has to do with a moral question. It has to do with an economic question. And the moral question that one could ask is, one, whether such expenditure is a priority for Dominica at this hour. And the answer would be no, Matt. First and foremost, it is being alleged and maybe accepted by most of us, if not all, that there are several state vehicles assigned to the Prime Minister and his family. And if that is the case, one would think that a caring Prime Minister who uses state resources, or who should be using the state resources for the benefit of the public, would not see the need to purchase a new vehicle for the purpose of transporting his children. So clearly, this is morally and ethically wrong. In terms of the economic question, again, we will ask, isn't there areas where that money could be expended for the better use and interest of the public? And the answer is a resounding yes. I've already outlined the areas where that money could be utilized. You, of course, Matt, for many weeks now, you have been dealing with callers concerning the hospital, our main hospital on the island. And we tend to focus on the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. We are about complaints from places like Portsmouth, where you have a medical facility that has been reduced to a mere clinic. Now, in that situation, we used to have a hospital. Now we just have a mere clinic. It's like a hub to transit patients from the north to the Dominica Friendship Hospital. You see nice buildings, nice clinics in different parts of the island, but they are lacking basic medical supplies. They are lacking basic operating supplies. And one would think that a caring Prime Minister would take that money to allocate for the purchase of basic operating supplies for such institutions.
As a matter of fact, we just learned that the fire people or the ambulances don't have, or the fire truck, fire service don't have jaws of life to deal with accidents. So it's a question of priority.
Well, of course, Matt. And as I said, it is clear to the nation that this government is not really a caring government. It gives us the impression that it is caring. Of course, we have social safety nets, such as the NEP program, we have the purpose allowance. But beyond that, Matt, it is and should be clear to the public that this government does not really care about people. It doesn't really care about the survival of the youth as far as dreams are concerned. Matt, how many young people do you speak with and you hear their stories? You know, it's like they just want to get out of Dominica. They cannot realize their dreams in Dominica. And when they do get out, they're not interested in coming back in. And I continue to have concerns about that, because when you have a country and the cream of the brains that live in the island, we refer to that as brain drain, that is a major inhibiting factor to stagnate the economic and social development of the country. Dominica is suffering with a serious hemorrhage of its brains. The finest amongst us, we are leaving the land. We are not available to put our hands on deck to contribute towards the development of the country. If anything, you're seeing the opposite, where we are giving a larger stake of our land, of our history and our heritage to foreigners. Most of the public contracts that are given are to foreigners. You're seeing a significant number of foreign workers on these public projects. The construction of the international airport is a prime example. The construction of roads, clinics, apartments, etc. So you have a significant outflow, not only of intellectual capital, but financial capital. And if we do not curb the outflow of our resources, then clearly that's going to inhibit our growth and development.
All right, Joshua, I'm going to take you out on that point there. Thank you very much for joining this discussion. It's 10:37. you just heard the acolytes, right? Let me play it for you again. Somebody's, I think I missed that question. Somebody's saying that the auditors themselves took an oath of secrecy. To Joshua's point, is there anything secret about disclosing documents? Read the audit, because that's your responsibility to, of course, say why and what you spent monies for, right? Unless it's talking about issues of security, it's the people's business. Abuse, and more abuse. Somebody's making the point, Matt. Those focus on the person who leaked that document, it's very strategic to focus the discussion on the person and not on the use of scarce state resources for personal need. You need to totally disregard the attention and allow the concerns of taxpayers in this country to be expressed. The lady calls to protect her personal selfish interests. The Dominican public has a right to express their anger and disgust on the matter. And of course, the people are very angry about it. The Dominican public has a right to express their anger and disgust on the matter. The leaker of the letter is one of those Dominicans who are very angry about what is happening, and they felt many others would share their sentiments, and hence they leaked it. It is often those in opposition who are said to hate Dominica and speaks bad about Dominica and of Dominica. The real destroyers and haters of Dominica are those defenders. And doers of such things to Dominica. So the leaker was basically in the interest, she leaked the document, or he leaked the document in the interest of the people of Dominica. All right, we're going to come back. When we come back, we'll play that statement from Clarence Christian again, huh? Stick around.
You have asked for it, all of it, and we heard you loud and clear. Dominica, get ready for a repeat of attorney at law and politician Joshua Francis telling his story, telling his truth. Listen this Wednesday, 27th November.
Joshua Francis, just like Joseph, you have been through difficult times, but trust in the process, trust in the Creator.
I think some people really just push Josh too hard, hoping that Josh would break. Josh did not break because I do not know if what he's saying is the truth. We must not let a few detractors, a few people who believe their view is all that counts. That is what hindering the opposition from getting into government.
Joshua Francis, while we were at school at the University of the West Indies, Joshua Sikiri Francis left his studies to go home to go and take care of his grandmother.
Had it not been my engagement in politics or my involvement in politics, I don't think some of the things that I went through would have happened.
Matt, I'm happy to see that Mr. Francis is on radio. Never seemed to be running away.
The UWP and Joshua Francis was mishandled. Some people blow it out of proportion.
I wouldn't say I lost my family. I lost the family unit, but a man never loses his family as long as the people are alive. I am convinced I know my my purpose under the sun. I have no regrets about those things that has happened. They happened. I learned from them and I'm moving on. I will get to the finish line, Matt.
Will you ever become a member of the United Workers' Party again?
Find out this Wednesday on Talk on the Block.
Well, let's listen to Clarence Christian again. You want to play the other side, right? Let's listen.
The apparatus of the state requested a new vehicle to transport the children of the Prime Minister as a responsibility of the state.
Security reasons.
For security reasons. So a new vehicle, so this is the thing, I do not know if it was purchased yet, but a new vehicle, approval was given to purchase a new vehicle to transport, for the state to meet its responsibilities to the children of the Prime Minister. Whoever Prime Minister is there, whichever Prime Minister is there, the state is responsible for transport. You go to the US, Barack Obama was in the state Secret Service transporting children to school and back. Donald Trump with what's his name again? Donald Trump's son, David. David. He was in the state that transported it. Yes. All prime ministers that have children, it could be whatever it is, be 16 and below the state. So I hear people, that is a simple matter. No.
So what was Lennox Linton trying this morning?
I do not know what he's trying.
When he said that after the Prime Minister had purchased a vehicle and a letter was out, you could see it came from a permanent secretary and it was out there.
I will tell you, listen. So a vehicle is purchased to replace an old vehicle, GA608, a black Mitsubishi Pajero, which is over 20 years old, which needs repairs, which needs overhauling, which needs thing. And the security apparatus of the state
requested that vehicle.
Requested a new vehicle. Instead of repairing it, because you don't want to have the Prime Minister's children, whichever Prime Minister it is that have children, you don't want your children, the Prime Minister as security, a vehicle breaking down with the children of the Prime Minister on board that vehicle. Whichever Prime Minister.
Simple logic and common sense.
Simple.
And common sense. Logic and common sense.
Oh boy, how far these acolytes will go? How far will these acolytes go? Hello, it's 10:46. We're still monitoring the issue in the court there, but I'm not getting any reports on that. Just yet. Let's take a phone call. Yes, talk to me, yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yes, Matt, morning.
Morning to you.
Matt, you see why people believe I involve in politics. Matt, I am there for justice. Matt, I'm listening to Mr. Christian. So is that the reason why I must continue my protest against Mr. Christian calling criminal 5, Matt? Matt, he's talking about the vehicle is for every other Prime Minister children, but Matt, the house that was there, Jesus Christ, for every Prime Minister to get in and out, the house could not fix for Prime Ministers. Matt, you see how these guys are wicked, Matt? So this is why when you call the radio station, you're getting all this time and all this leverage, it don't hurt me, Matt. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I need to call Mr. Edison James. Mr. James, if you are here, give me a call. Did the state provide security for your children when they went to school? 10:47. Hello, just a simple response to Mr. Clarence Christian. Hello, talk to me. Yes, on the. I'm here.
You see all that security always mentioning about there. You see, them thing always happening.
Because what about them past governments, like past prime minister, what have you? They're doing so many things. Patrick will go to prison for what he's done, what was wrong. You know what I mean? The man never inherit for what the man inheriting. And more and more, the man trying to inherit. He's getting a salary. What you give your money? What you can't use your money to do whatever you have to do? You know, and there's arguing what the man doing, but I mean, if it's real, you know, we in Dominica, brother man. We actually don't move nowhere because the man doesn't so interest in Dominican to make people business move forward and people move forward to feed themselves and their family. So we only continue to move in that kind of a way. Is this so we have to keep on living like that kind of thing, kind of thing? They may only forget where they have to go, but when you come in all that kind of thing there, they might not baby yourself, boy, because them things not right, boy.
All right, caller, thank you. 1048. On the question of security, yes. And the children, of course, we spoke about that. It's provided with security, but to get a special vehicle to take the children of the Prime Minister to school. So why couldn't their parents who work for the state buy a vehicle? And, you know, ensure that the children are, you know, maybe the state can provide security. If you want to argue going forward. So irresponsible. Clarence Christian. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, good day.
Matthew, notice Clarence is saying something totally different from what is on the memo.
Yes.
The memo specifically states that the vehicle is to take the Prime Minister's children to school. Black and white. That's what it said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Clarence is saying, if you listen to what you just played there, Clarence is saying that that vehicle is to replace one of the security vehicles that is 20 years old now. The memo doesn't say that. If it was that, no problem, the state have to provide transport for the Prime Minister and the policemen that do security for the Prime Minister.
True.
But the memo doesn't say that, and Clarence can understand English. But when you so want to defend the indefensible, it's so you have to make monkeyness with yourself in public. Good morning.
Good morning. And you know, the vehicle that was provided to PJ, Patrick John, you know, as a former Prime Minister. You know, as soon as PJ died, that vehicle was taken away from Desiree John. As soon as her husband passed as Prime Minister, you don't want to talk about that. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, Clarence. Hello, talk to me, yes? This country. Hello, yes. Talk to me. Hello. Nobody there. Let's take another phone call. Sorry about that. Yes, hello.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
How you do, Matt? How you do?
I'm here.
Yeah, Matt, listen, the question pertaining that vehicle, Matt, as Joshua said, is there any law that provides for the state to provide security for the children of the Prime Minister? And I listened to Simeon Good, and he said there's no law like that. If it's not in the law, it's illegal, it is corrupt. But Matt, when we were going to school, they used to teach us about the boy who cried wolf. The politician in Dominica, they were saying Patrick John corrupt. They were saying Edison James and UWP corrupt. But when the dust settled, Matt, there was no evidence of corruption. You cannot charge Patrick John $43 and something cents and tell me that is corruption. And now the real corruption is blowing up right in their face, bold face. And everybody now trying to, on the other side, trying to defend it. But Matt, I want to make one more short statement about that bail for the accused murderer.
I'll do that quick.
And my fear is that I wanted to know, Matt, if the police in Dominica have the ability or the capability to bring a case like that and secure a conviction. Because I was there after that the murder happened, these guys went in there and take out evidence and contaminate the place.
So we should pay attention to the bail, which I find he shouldn't get bail. But what I am more scared of, Matt, is for these guys to walk free. And I don't believe the police and the DPP have the ability or the I'm not confident that they can prosecute a case like that and secure a conviction, man. I don't believe they have the training, they don't have the equipment to test the bullet and all the necessary investigation that have to take place to secure the evidence and then secure a conviction. What they specialize is in incitement. Once you open your mouth against Roosevelt scare, it is incitement. That's the only specialty. That's where they go to. And even when they bring incitement, they cannot prove the case. Cases have to take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, man. Anyway, I'm listening. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you very much. 449-3095. We only have about seven more minutes. I'm just giving you an update as it relates to the case before the court for bail. I'm being told that the judge actually placed a lot of the reporters on the outside of the court, asked them to leave the court. So they are waiting there patiently to, of course, provide some updates. So the judge has not given any decision or has not made any decision on that one just yet. Okay, so we'll be monitoring. I suspect by the time we come back, we might have some information. I might try to find myself there in a few minutes myself. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yeah. Good morning, Matt Peltier.
Good morning, sir.
I was told that my name is being bandied on Q95.
No, your voice. We played your voice. Your very voice. Yes.
My voice. Yeah.
Okay.
Matt, let me tell you first. The vehicle that is being replaced, GA608, was the vehicle that carried the children of Pierre Charles, Prime Minister Pierre Charles, deceased, Camilo and Pfizer.
Let me just interrupt you, Clarence. Did you see anything in the memo coming from the permanent secretary signed by Natalie Lewis Hippolyte to state that the very vehicle you're talking about, I know where you're going, is of that age? Did you see anything there? And to provide security?
How can you put that in a memo?
I'm asking you, did you see that there? Did you see that the vehicle is 20 years old and needs replacement?
Why should you put that there? The police make a request for another.
Well, Clarence, give me the letter from the police that made that request. If you're trying to defend, and of course, if you're defending, that's fine. We need to provide security for the Prime Minister, and the vehicle is 20 years old. You can understand that. But didn't the Prime Minister, what vehicle was bringing the children to school? What vehicle?
Huh?
What vehicle was bringing the Prime Minister children to school? What vehicle you said?
The vehicle was a Mitsubishi Pajero. A Mitsubishi Pajero that was carrying children of Pierre Charles to school. And it continued carrying the children of Mr. Skerrit to school.
Did the state, Clarence, did you state, because you're trying to make an argument there, did the state provide any security and any vehicle for any children of the former Prime Minister of Dominica, Mr. Edison James, to school? I'm asking you, did the state provide any security for Edison James' children to go to school?
Because Edison did not have children 16 years and below. Any children of the Prime Minister that is 16 years and below, the state has the responsibility to take those children, to transport those children to school.
Well, Clarence, do you have a document? Do you have the law to provide that?
This is a matter.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking a simple question. Can you quote the law stating that? Can you state the law, Clarence, stating that? Can you quote the law stating that?
Not player politics.
I'm telling you, can you state the law? That's politics. I'm asking a simple question. Can you state the law that's stating that it's the responsibility of government to provide security for the children of the Prime Minister? I know you're going to run away. Thank you very much, Clarence. Thank you very much. Hello?
Yes, not I was down by the court.
Yes.
But I didn't see, I don't know if it was upstairs, all the people are maybe in the gallery, but downstairs outside the court, I didn't see anybody there.
So myself, I left because I didn't dress suitable to go inside.
But then they have not given any decision just yet. Not.
No,
Okay.
I saw Mr. Norde going upstairs, but I have a short pant on me and I couldn't go upstairs to the court. So I didn't go there. I go and do my business, Matt. Matt, when Mr.
Clarence?
Obama children or whoever children, Matt, the kind of security they give them children is to take them to school and bring them back at their home when the time they take them to school. They bring when time to go and pick them up, they go and pick them up. No security policeman was sitting down in a vehicle 24/7 to look at two children inside of school. Nobody wasn't doing that. Only in Dominica that thing happening, and Scary's not afraid of us. No, he knows exactly who he is afraid of and who he protecting his children from. It's not from us. So they have to take that back, man. No.
Take it back for sure. You see, I asked him a question he can answer. Which part of the law can you quote that says the state has to provide transportation to take the children to school? I'm asking Clarence. He says I'm playing politics. Simple question. You keep making an ass of yourself. Hello, talk to him on the telephone. Yes.
Yes, Clarence, believe you are fool. He didn't expect you to ask him that kind of question. And Matt, the two that is in they want to bail. Two is going out or one staying and one going out?
I think they're considering one at this time. Just one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, so we have 1 minute. This guy is just devoid of shame. He says the vehicle is 20 years old. You have to visit the security fleet. We understand you need to provide security for the Prime Minister in a very good vehicle. But question remains, Mr. Clarence Christian, which law can you quote? And Edison James' son, somebody just telling me, was a young boy when his dad became Prime Minister. Those silly excuses you want to come up with there doesn't make any sense. We'll continue. You see, it's so false. I was doing security for Mr. Charles, and we had no special vehicle to transport Camilo and Pfizer to school. Clarence, you see, that's a security officer from the former Prime Minister, Mr. Charles. They had no special vehicle to transport his children to school. So your arguments are falling flat on its face. We'll come back at 1 o'clock, Dominica, because this argument, this story must continue. Tell me I'm playing politics. Politics is the facts. I'm just quoting the former officer.
Fresh Market Pharmacy has extended.
And he says, man, we had no special vehicle to take them children to school. What is Clarence talking about?
Market Pharmacy has extended to customers with its new additional location at best price. 2 convenient locations on the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard and at Best Price Riverbank. Fresh Market Pharmacy provides over-the-counter medication, health and personal care, prescription drugs, and natural supplements. Our experienced pharmacists and technicians provide the best quality services. Call 225-6883, 255-6875, WhatsApp 316-0310. Your prescription bill just got lowered. Christmas in this year. Can I have this? We have an extra $400 from Flow. You can have everything you want. More gifts with Flow. With Christmas in, when weekly prices up to 10,000. Sign up for a postpaid bundle or a private plan. With Christmas in with free groceries from Flow. Plus, a chance to win